Hello, everyone, and welcome to Careers Express webcast. I'm Elisabeth, an associate of the Cyprus Mail, and today we are focusing on the challenges job seekers are currently facing in the market. Joining me today is Tina Kafantari. Tina is a senior HR executive. Welcome, Tina, on board.
Hello, Elisabeth. Thank you very much for the invitation today and the very good opportunity to share with you and discuss on this very interesting topic, actually. Thank you.
Welcome on board. So, Tina, job seekers of any age today are looking for a job. They go on job looking for roles. They find some roles, they submit their CV, they submit their application. Sometimes they're called for their first interview, sometimes for even the second interview. But there are some challenges there along the way. So what are the main challenges that job seekers are currently facing?
Well, you raised, Elisabeth, a very hot issue, let's say. Well, we have, yes, the job seekers today face a lot of actually challenges. The main challenges, I would say, that are, first of all, the fact that they don't receive feedback on their performance during the interviewing process. The challenge is that they do face some serious stereotypes, I would say, as blocking points, for example, age and gender. I would say that this is the most important and main challenge is these two.
Yes. Okay, so for the last few years, we know that HR professionals continuously were advising job seekers to seek feedback. So here, not only job seekers are not getting feedback, they're not even getting a closure, a simple yes or a no on their application, or after the interview they're having, first or even second interview that they're having. So is this acceptable?
No, it is not acceptable. I would say that as an HR professional with many years of experience in the field, it is not acceptable. It is a very good practice for the companies to give feedback on the performance. Also, all candidates who apply, regardless if they proceed at the next stage, which is the interviewing or not, companies should send a responsive mail. So the candidates receive responsive mail from the company, and we know that there are a lot of automated systems that can help with this. So there's no problem for the companies to follow.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how does this impact the candidate? I mean, not making a closure on a job role after an interview, not receiving a simple yes or a no on that role. How does it impact on the job seeker? And also, how does it impact on the company itself?
Well, yes, I would say that the impact on the candidate is negative, for sure. It does not, it impacts negatively. Actually, it may affect the candidate's decision on the selection of the right employer to work for. We know that the interviewing process, the recruitment process is already very stressful and frustrated for the candidate. So malpractices for the company's part can make it even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Now, regarding the impact on the company itself, the companies for sure in my opinion, loses on in terms of employer branding. The candidate may choose not to work for this employer, as already said before, and the employer loses its ability to attract talents. And of course, this is not at all good for the company.
Especially at a time when some experts have highlighted that rebranding is very important for some companies in Cyprus as they're looking for talents to recruit. So yes, rebranding is one important issue. So let's touch bases on the other challenge that you've mentioned, which is stereotypes. So what kind of stereotype, challenges the job seekers are facing?
Well, the age is one of that. Is one of these, the stereotype. Also, unfortunately, the gender. We face cases. At least, I have the experience here in the Greek market. That it's very, very difficult for the mature professionals to find a job. This is very unfortunate. We know that there are laws against age discrimination, but I think that discrimination against the over 50s is very much alive and well hidden behind closed doors. Yeah. So this is a very important stereotype.
Yeah. So nobody says anything about it, but it exists.
Yes, it does exist. Yes, it does exist. At least from my experience, I have faced that quite a lot. Also, the gender does exist, but I think that is quite a bit less than the stereotype, the age stereotype.
Okay. If we want to, sorry, please go ahead.
You said you asked about other challenges, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, I was going to get into the other challenges as well as the challenges for the young, the newly graduates who are trying to get into the workforce. Do you see any kind of challenges for those young job seekers as well?
Yes, I think that the fact that there is no feedback given does apply also for the young. It doesn't have, there isn't any difference between ages. It does apply for the younger ones as well. Also, we see other challenge is that the recruitment processes are not clear and are not transparent. Also, they are lengthy and very confusing. Not so, I would say, friendly to the candidate. And this has as a consequence that the candidate sometimes may say, okay, I don't have the time to do all this, and they don't bother to continue with the process. Another one is that not for the young, but in general, is that the job posting information does not match actually with the actual duties and responsibilities of the vacant role. This is another challenge that we do face. Also, another one is that the profile of the hiring manager, of the recruiter, is not the appropriate one for the candidate's profile and experience. We face, for example, cases where the hiring manager is not an experienced one. It's about, let's say, 28 or 30 or 35 years old, and takes an interview from a person, from a very experienced professional, over 45, for example, or between 40 or 45. So this is not, it's not considered as a good practice. We have to differentiate the profile of the hiring manager according to the profile of the people we want to fill the vacant role.
Okay. So in general, I also had some experience myself as well. I could see some role, specific role in a specific, with specific expertise. And then after 6 months, after 1 year, I see that the same position is again vacant, and the company is recruiting again for the same position. So what is really going wrong with the recruitment process?
Well, yes, I have faced that. I have seen that as well. The same job posting for even more than 5 or 6 months. You know, one scenario, one reason would be that the hiring has not been successful. So that means that we hired someone, it proved to be not successful, and we are forced again to begin from the start again the process to find the right candidate. This, of course, we can understand that this is a big loss, let's say, for the company, because when I make a wrong hiring, I lose time. I have also cost consequences for the cost implications for the company, and this, of course, is not good. Another reason would be that we hear also many times that the job posting may be fake. For example, for some companies that they want to show that they hire people, they're going very well.
Inflated.
Yes.
In a way, yes.
So there might be the reason that it's not there. It's a kind of fake, let's say.
So
posting.
what happens? You see a job description there, which has a lot of responsibilities, and then you go to the interview and you see that the actual duties and responsibilities does not require the qualification of the candidate. Yeah, this is what you mean.
Well, yes. This is how you how you write the job posting and what actual sentences and the words you use. This also requires experience from the hiring manager, from the person who is going to write the job posting. It's not easy, and it's not something that we just write something and that's it. It has to be very clear, has to be detailed, and it has to be very professional.
So we touched bases on recruiters, we touched bases on a bit HR practices and professionals. Recently, there have been in the media in general, publicly, some harsh criticism about the competence of HR professionals and hiring managers and recruiters. What do you have to comment on that?
Well, criticism. Well, in my opinion, when I accept, let's say, and hear whatever, read criticism, I try to. I consider this as a how can I say, as a positive thing, and I think that this is the way. All of us have to deal with these criticisms. The way would be to take this as a good opportunity to do a self, let's say, appraisal. Assessment, yes, and point out any possible mistakes that I may make as a professional in this process, and try to try to be a better one, try to improve some, processes that I already follow. So I take this criticism positively and not negatively. I see it as an opportunity to think if I do this actually correctly, or if indeed I make some mistakes. And if I make some mistakes, I have to do whatever is needed in order to improve myself.
Right. Okay, so let's finally say for our job seekers who are in stress or they are frustrated day in, day out, looking for that ideal job that they want to get in the market, in the Cyprus market, hopefully. So for our readers as well as the Greek readers. So what do you really recommend
Suggest.
or advise, the job seekers of today who are looking for a job? And how to overcome the barriers, of course, the challenges that they're facing?
We know that around from several researchers that have been published, that almost 70% of the roles that are filled via networking, okay, and not via job postings. So one advice would be for the people who are seeking for a job would be to work on having a very good network. This is job searching. We know that it's a full-time job. Yeah, if you want to do it correctly, it's a full-time job. So one advice is to have a very good networking. LinkedIn is a very good tool. Another advice is to do a good search of the market. I mean, follow the market every day and see what is needed, and to try to do trainings, daily basis, self-training on skills that are needed, and that you see that the job seeker thinks that has to train himself on a skill that is needed, for example. So do trainings. Another one is to be persistent, okay, to be patient, and to be optimistic. For sure, it's a very frustrated process, but do not, give up. You have to persist. You have to be very patient, and you have to, if you don't get feedback, I would suggest to go and to send a mail, send a message, call the company and ask for a feedback. If again you don't get this, okay, on the phones, but they don't reply at your messages, they don't reply the phone, the calls, okay, do not give up, just proceed, just continue, go to the next opportunity.
Right.
But I would say that the networking and the fact that they can take advantage of the period that you are not working, take advantage for your own good, for your own benefit. I would give this suggestion.
Okay. Good. Thank you for closing with a positive note today. And thank you, Tina, for accepting our invitation. I'm sure that the Cyprus Express, Careers Express readers and followers will also find this interesting for the insights, and they will also be, hopefully addressing any questions that they may have to myself or to yourself. They can reach you on LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you too, Elisabeth. I wish I would have we would have more time actually to discuss further on this, because it's a very interesting and very hot subject. Yes, thank you again, and I am at your disposal for any questions or other topics to discuss. Thank you again.
Thank you, Tina.